Is there a systematic nature of oppression that determines the fate and future of certain people before they are even born?
In my opinion, yes, there is a systematic nature of oppression that determines the fate and future of certain people before they are even born. Because depending on the religion, you are sometimes forced to have your fate and future determined. High class people often want their children to have their high standards and have a better future.
I also feel as if, yes, there is a systematic nature of oppression that determines the fate of certain people before they are born. Some people can be born into like lower class neighborhoods and not have the same opportunities of those who like have been born into higher class neighborhoods. So I feel as if they feel as if they won't become successful in life due to the way society treats them with an unjust manner.
Is criminality a class issue?
No, I don't think that it's a class issue because we have people who are white-collar criminals in this country, and we have poor people who find themselves desperately trying to make a life for themselves. And the only way that they know to do that is through, crime, committing crimes such as stealing or harming others to get ahead. But I think that it's a larger issue because white-collar crime is a much more pervasive and is a very large amount of money that is stolen every year by white-collar criminals. And we don't look at them in the same way as we do poor people. So I don't think that it's a class issue. I think that it's just it's an individual issue.
I believe that the way things are now with the media and everything, it's portrayed as a class issue, but to me personally, I think anybody could be a criminal, and it doesn't matter what race or ethnic background you are. It's just the fact that if you're Hispanic or African American, you get put more into a criminal class.
Yes, to a certain extent, I think it is a class issue. I think that the types of crimes that happen in different classes is part of that. I don't think there's necessarily more crime in a particular class, although it's likely that you would find statistics of there being more crime. I think in lower housing, in lower income families and lower income people, because that's what the law is looking for, that they look at those people as kind of automatically, they assume that they would be the perpetrators of crimes, and so just by the mere fact that that's what they're looking for, you're going to see those statistics rise.
I think it is, because I think most people who are like Hispanic or African American might view us as criminals or possible criminals, or if there was like a line of, say, like African American, white person, or Hispanic, I think they wouldn't really look at the white person.
Yes, criminality is a class issue in America. I see that today a lot of society kind of pushes people under the poverty line, under the rug, because they see them as people who would never succeed. So these people they tend to have to fend for themselves and discover their harsh fate in the long run. Yet people who are coming from a lot of money and stuff like that do have more opportunities, and that actually makes them kind of wean away from the gang violence and a lot of the criminal acts. So I do believe that in America, the richer you are, the more privileges you have, and the poorer you are, the more likely you are to become a criminal.
Yeah, I think some people think that some races are more criminally predisposed than others. I do not believe that, but some people do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In my opinion, yes. I think probably there could be arguments made for your ethnicity, your culture, your race, but I think probably the most telling class, as in relationship to criminality, would be socioeconomic status. I think you know, our country does a poor job of helping people with a low socioeconomic status, and because of that, I think they are exposed to more criminal situations. I don't necessarily think that they commit more crimes, but I do think that they are exposed to more crimes, and if anything, they could be victims of crimes more easily than people of a middle or high class.
Is criminality a class issue in America?
I think that criminality is a class issue in America due to the fact that the American government doesn't care for people. They typically see African Americans and Hispanics as criminals and judge them by the way they look. But once a high class person commits a crime, they don't get a strict penalty as other middle and lower class people would.
Yes, I feel as if criminality is a class issue in America, but I don't believe that only one race is criminals. Every ethnic group can be considered a criminal. When I learned Maslow's hierarchy in class, it talked about our basic needs, that if we don't have those basics like food, water, shelter, we aren't worried about our safety or love. We just want what we actually need in the moment, which can cause someone to be a criminal.